Hey, friend.
Hey, how you doing, Jackie?
I am well. It is August and holy shoot, is it hot?
And you're in Ohio,
Yes.
and I'm in Florida, and I could say the same thing.
You know,
Lovely.
and I guess we're just going to have to muster through the we're hot summer reality
Yes.
because it's summer. The boys up in Alaska and it was 37 degrees on the North Slope yesterday.
Oh, wow. Don't you wish it could be this hot and you could just fly there, get out of the plane, cool off, and then come back and go, it's bittersweet. It's cold there and then it's hot here, but it still feels good immediately. But
Yes,
wow,
it's a polar opposite, almost literally.
it
And
is,
hey, you know
which
what?
leads us into a great conversation.
It does because polar opposites often lead to
Oh.
disagreements.
Oh, that thing? Yike.
Um,
Okay, what kind of disagreement slash agreement person are you?
Do
It's
I
I'm just asking a little vulnerability.
a little vulnerability?
I'll share.
I I'm a disengager. Mm,
Like as in avoid or let's change the subject.
I'm a runner. If I'm in really big conflict,
Okay.
I want to run.
Wow.
Literally,
Okay.
um it is not a great quality. And my future daughter-in-law and I were actually talking about that last night.
Oh,
And
okay.
um, you know, am I a ghoster or a steamroller or a rebuilder or a connector? Lots of iterations of that. But what about you?
I used to run. I used to
Mm.
run. Yes, I hated confrontation. It would make me nauseous
Oh,
because I always want to bring about peace. That's in my nature, and
yes,
that was the best way to do it. Um, as I have gotten older, I have learned that you've got to literally bite it
mm,
now,
yes,
whether that means apologizing or um, surrendering in a good way,
mm, yeah,
or allowing someone else the permission to express that and receive that. And it
yes.
fares way better. And I have so much more to say about that, but I'll let you go ahead.
No, I think, that's part of what we do is we get to have these moments of vulnerability and ask one another
Mhm.
the question
Mhm.
and say, okay, yes, this is very public, whether you're listening to us on the podcast or you're watching us on our YouTube channel,
Mhm.
it's still a really big moment that we are asking one another to trust a very public platform with our personal experience.
Mm.
And I think it's a lot easier for people to, using current terminology, it's easier to ghost than to confront.
Mhm.
It's easier to shut down than it is to reach out.
It's easier to make yourself invisible these days.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what Christ modeled.
We're definitely not supposed to block good people.
No, no.
Block caller.
Caller ID, I'm not talking to you. So I think it's a really challenging space
Mhm.
in love and in truth to fight the good fight. It's it asks a lot of emotional maturity of both individuals in the disagreement
Mhm.
to be open to what the other person has to say and the potential that the other person is right, that they're right, that I'm wrong.
Yeah, that they're right. Yes.
I
Or you throw yourself out there being vulnerable to try to reconcile
yes,
and it's not received.
ouch,
That part, that's a hard part. I have walked that out.
yes,
And that it's taken time, especially for one particular person, but I've learned that it's okay. I'm trying to do, and you know what I go by all the time?
Tell me.
I always think of the fruits of the spirit.
Mm,
Whenever I'm in a disagreement, the fruits of the spirit, there's 9 of them: love,
yes.
joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self control. When there's a disagreement, I go, what one of those do we have a problem with?
Mm.
And maybe that problem is I have the problem with it. But then I'm thinking through what's missing here. Where is the disconnect and where is it coming from?
That is something that I have never, ever, never have I ever. That's a great game to play, by the way. But
Well,
in
that's
this
why.
instance, never have I ever considered filtering through the gifts of the Spirit.
Mm,
Um, I've filtered through when you're speaking, is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it for the betterment of the other person? But I think even more so when you are in a moment of conflict or even a season of conflict, that you filter through the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Can you talk to me more about that?
oh, okay. Absolutely unrehearsed. Going on
Yes.
right here.
Yeah.
The only the My very first go-to in explaining that to you is what is in the character and nature of the one who made peace with humanity. Um, it's that guy that everyone has been talking about is Jesus Christ. Okay.
Mm,
But
yeah.
anyway, that he made it possible for us to understand what peace is and reconciliation with with the human race as a whole. So
Yes.
so because of that, the character and nature, what needs to line up? All of those fruit of the spirit lines up with who Jesus is and the image. And our goal, our end game is to look like Jesus when we're done here on earth. So
Yes.
we say, what is hindering this reconciliation, this restoration, this healing? what what needs to happen with this harmony to maintain to get this harmony back with this person? And I will tell you, I was just doing a study this past week before you sent what we were going to talk about, which I love this part. I love how we orchestrate this. And it was about, there's going to be times when your heart is saying, I've got to do this, I've got to reconcile with this person, whether or not you have a future friendship relationship with that person moving
Right.
forward. But how do you, and I always say it's cleaning your side of the street. How do you
Oh,
clean your side of the street?
how
So
that.
that, yes, because ultimately, if you refuse, if it's pride that is causing this, or if it's just a difference of opinion, whatever it is, like, ultimately it becomes between you and God, because you have to forgive somebody, right? If you
Yes.
if you're a Christian, honestly, you don't have to. It's a choice.
Yes.
But if you decide to go the Jesus way, and you
Right.
and you and you forgive, you've cleaned your side of the street. All of that debris, all of that litter that is just contaminating your heart, because ultimately that's what it does when you don't reconcile and then you don't get over it.
Mm,
You don't have harmony with yourself. You don't have healing. Your heart starts to kind of decay. So clean your side of the street. That means get the dustpan, get the broom,
right.
and what do you need to do?
Or the shop vac. Or
Or
the
or
shop
that,
vac.
right? Or the
Or the dump truck or whatever it might be.
what is the
Um,
iRobot? Whatever
yes.
it is.
Whatever it is. You know, it it's a really challenging thing to consider jumping into relationship with someone that has hurt you.
Yes.
Reconciliation is sometimes not wise, and I want to acknowledge that to all the people watching or listening, that there are times and people in your life where reconciliation is not healthy and good. And Christy and I are not talking about that. We are not talking about being in an abusive, harmful situation.
Oh, that's absolutely correct.
Huge caveat there. When
Yes.
you and I talk about forgiveness and reconciliation, we are doing it within a very reasonable space of healthy, not harmful, not abusive relationship.
Yes.
And another day, perhaps we will talk about what forgiveness of abusers looks like. But for today, we're talking about the disagreements that are in reasonable relationships in our lives.
Yes.
And how do we consider what reconciliation and redemption within broken relationships looks like? And when I was researching for today, Christy,
Hmm.
I did a really big thing and I asked Chat. I said,
Okay.
"Hey, Chat GPT, can you tell me when Jesus did this?" And he gave me a really good one.
Okay.
So I want to kind of detour us that direction for a minute
Yeah.
because it circles back to your fruits of the Spirit.
Okay. I'm all ears.
There was a really, really, really dear friend of Jesus, and he totally ghosted Jesus. Not only did he ghost him, he denied him. Like he
Hmm.
had the perfect opportunity, and somebody was like, "Yo, dude, he's your friend. I know it." And this friend said, "No, no, man, not me, wrong guy."
Hmm.
And a second time, someone said, "You're on that team." And this friend of Jesus, this very, very dear friend of Jesus said, "Heck no, no, I am not. Wrong
Hmm.
guy, wrong player, wrong team, not even on the field." And a third time, this very, very bestie type friend of Jesus, someone came to him and said, "I know you're a friend of his. Not only are you a friend of his, I know you're one of his best friends."
Mm.
And this guy named Peter,
Mm.
he said,
That guy.
Nope, deuces. Not only am I not one of his besties, I'm out of here.
Uh-huh.
Tail lights, smoke, gone."
Yep.
Okay, ouch. That is that level of betrayal.
It's heavy.
Okay, so Jesus does the great Jesus thing, he goes to the cross, he dies, he's buried, he's resurrected. And when he comes back for that brief season of time,
Mm.
he's there, Christy, and he's got breakfast cooking. Breakfast is on the stove
Yeah.
for his friends. He knows that Peter's walking toward him. He's cooking breakfast for Peter.
Hmm.
And there is this recognition. And for every single time Peter denied him and denied his friendship, Jesus asks him, "Simon, son of John, do you
Who
love
is Peter?
me?" Yes, Simon Peter. Yes. "Do you love me?" Because every time he denied Jesus, Jesus was giving him an opportunity to reconcile.
Hmm.
Jesus crossed the distance to Peter in his shame, in Peter's shame,
Yeah.
and says, "Do you love me?" And
Hmm.
Peter says, "Oh, I do. I do." And Jesus reconciles with him in the most profound and beautiful way.
Hmm.
He says, "Peter, Simon Peter, you are going to be the rock on which I build my church."
Hmm.
Can you imagine someone in your life? Can I imagine someone in my life that has promised to be there for me
Hmm.
in the most sincere, heartfelt way? And then something happens to challenge that relationship and they deny you. Not only do they deny you, they ghost you.
Hmm.
They It is as if you never existed in the history of humanity. This person that was in the most intimate relationship with you, and I'm not talking sex here, I'm not talking about that kind of
Right.
intimacy. I'm talking about this relational intimacy of the dearest of heart
Of
friends.
friends. Yes.
Can you imagine that you then cross back that bridge and that wall or that cavern
Mm,
and you build the bridge
yeah.
in such a profound way? How are we capable of that? How do we mimic Jesus in our lives like this?
Hmm. How do we do it?
Yeah.
Humility.
Oh,
That I know. I sometimes I hate to break it to people, but that's what it is.
it's humility, isn't it?
It's humility. It's humility. I'm thinking about, wow, off the cuff, just the people that even build literal bridges.
Mm.
They're not dressed really pretty when they're doing it. They're getting all dirty.
Oh,
It it probably is laborious. They
yes.
probably go home and they're exhausted. And we're talking bridges. Think about all the bridges in the world, as a matter of fact. How big is your bridge that you need to build when it comes to the brokenness of friendships? Like, are you
Mm.
talking a little bridge that you hop across a creek, or are you talking across, the what? The San Francisco Bridge is my first thought.
Or wait, what is the bridge that takes you down to Key West? That's a
Oh, the
really long bridge, and
seven
you're in
mile,
Florida.
the 7 Mile Bridge, which actually does seem like forever.
It does.
So much traffic these days.
Yes.
But I honestly, what is a bridge? It connects from one point to the next point, to get you from the start point to the destination.
Yes.
And when we're talking relationship, what is the destination for relationships? Is unity, right? Is so that people can be back together, so that you can be
Yes.
in one accord together. And I think that's what Jesus was after. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
he is the author perfecter of what unity needs to look like. And you do that through humility, which means that you're willing to get on a work belt with hammer and nails and do what you think you is the right thing that God's leading you to, in this reconciliation.
It is part and parcel of I think growth and maturity.
Hmm.
And gosh, I wish I had learned how to fight, how to argue better, how to be in a relationship and encounter disagreements personally and professionally. I
Hmm.
wish I had been able to learn those skills earlier in life so that I could navigate those waters better.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but I but here we are, right?
Yeah.
And so
I think you learn a little bit as you go because
you
you
do.
interface with so many different personalities, and it's there's so much out there, right? Like when it comes to what you can disagree upon. And I think it's crazy when you think how difficult today. It's always been difficult for unity. It's still happening in Israel, and it started there and it's going to end there. When you think
Right.
about, and we're just little tiny humans on the other side of the world that still have the same issue, which is, there's always going to be somebody that you need to reconcile with.
Always.
Always.
Really great Bible verse for that.
Oh, what?
Ephesians 4, verse 3.
Okay.
Mhm. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through
Mm.
the bond of peace.
Wow. Peace is a
Unity,
powerhouse.
unity of spirit, Christy, just
Yes.
like you started with the gifts
Yeah.
of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And Jesus is all about keeping us in unity in relationship.
Yes. Yes. I
I think,
encourage everybody out there to Look up the fruits of the spirit.
Yes.
You can Google, it'll pop right up. I'm sure you do your chat GPT
Yes.
and it'll pop
Yes.
right up and
Or
and
grok.
and it's actually a really good little homework assignment for yourself. You know, how much of each of those do you feel that are in your own heart and that you display in your own life and that you communicate with others in everyday life? You know, that is you got to have you and you got to focus on that destination for your own heart, right? And you it might involve building a bridge between you and Jesus. It might even be that, which might even give you an opportunity to even draw closer to him in so many different ways that he wants to meet you on the other side of that bridge. And
Mm,
it's beautiful communion. If you can do that, if you can do that with Jesus, if you can do that in your own faith walk across that bridge, you most
yeah.
certainly will be able to discern and have a lot more perspective in how to do that in real life with real friends or real friends that you actually want to keep.
Yes.
Yes.
Those close five people, or six, as my father said something about, well, it was probably more profane than what I'm going to share right now, but basically, skip it all except for six and keep them close so they can be your pallbearers. And what he was trying to say was a very, very wise man that relationships take work.
Mm-hmm.
Good relations, good relationships take a lot of work, and great relationships take exponentially hard work. Thus, your analogy of building the bridge and putting on your tool belt and getting down and dirty,
Yeah.
because relationships are messy. They're great, but they're messy.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can keep that perspective that we are always seeking peace and unity through the truth and love,
Yes.
which happens as we filter through the gifts of the Spirit, the fruits
Mm-hmm.
of the Spirit.
Yeah. And really, honestly, it's easier than you think. You
It
just got to
is
be willing, right, to put the work in and the effort in and grow yourself.
that humility of heart. There's a book called that, by the way. I'm going to look it up and
Mm.
send you the author, who I can't remember at the moment, but it is a great book, Humility of Heart. And
I love that title. That's a great title.
it is a great mantra. It is a great bedrock to always be humble and always open to the peace and unity that Jesus affords us.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Hey, guess what?
Guess what?
It is another week, and we've had a lot of deep water this week, a lot of unexpected deep water. I didn't know we were going to talk about fruits of the Spirit today. I thought we were just going to talk about going along to get along.
Yeah, really. But God is so good.
He
These are
is.
just the little nuggets in everyday life. That's all it
They are.
is.
They
It's
are.
not, it doesn't have to be difficult. Because it's supposed to be delightful, right?
It is. The
God
deep
is
water
good.
is a lot of delight as well as deep.
I'm
So,
so glad we talked about this today, Jackie.
me too. Hey, it's been great.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
See you.